Hey guys, welcome back. I was originally planning on doing my mid-year 2025 Techo Kaigi updates, and I realized as I was going through my pages was that I never really shared or talked about one of the more important things when it came to our hobby, which is like spending. And the thing is that I was never the type to actually follow through with a no spend frame of mind. And the best compromise that I could think of was that I just had to be more intentional and more mindful of the things that I was going to be purchasing. And that is following like two main ideas that I wrote. I don't know if I wrote one down, but I know that I wrote it down during my 2025 delusions because resolutions was just way too, demanding. So 2025 delusions it is. So I said that I would be thinking twice, thrice before checking out. So the idea is that I keep those items that I see that I find that I think I want them and I just keep them in the cart. Because I have this thing that I will put everything that I like in a cart and not necessarily check out. But this time it's more like a rule that I have for myself that if I still like it within or like after 30 days that isn't it's in the cart, I'd get it and I would feel like it was something more intentional than something more impulsive because it's not just that I saw it online and I was like, ooh, this is so pretty, this is so nice, I want this, I need this. But then it's more like I've given it some thought and I really want it and I really like it, then I should get it. The other thing is that I don't believe I wrote it down is that whenever I want something, I would have to give something up in exchange. So this kind of worked out for me because I was thinking of ways to finally dispose of blue fountain pens that I had because I was trying to transition the whole collection into just greens and whites. Now, I don't want to necessarily just let go all of my blue fountain pens. So whenever I saw something online that was pretty, that was the time I'd feel more inclined to selling it. So, which it's another story that I'll be sharing as we go through the video, but those were the main concepts that I was working with when I started a more mindful way of spending. And this is where I am now. Obviously, you're not going to be seeing utility bills, you're not going to be seeing car maintenance stuff or gas because it's mostly wants rather than needs. And some of these wants are more like, well, I don't really consider new eyeglasses as wants slash needs because it was like unnecessary spending for me because I really needed well, I wanted those eyeglasses that I could just clip on like a darker pair of lens so I can use it while driving. That's the whole idea of it. And then I slowly got sucked into the Vivaya shoes. I like it's very comfortable. I've tried it walking around Tokyo and I liked it and I thought it would be nice for work or anything that's casual. Because honestly for me, if you're not sneakers, you're like a bit more practical shopping for me because sneakers for me are just shopping. I don't know how I can explain that it's an entirely different thing, but in my head it makes perfect sense and yeah, it's following that trend. I was able to get new pillows from Nitori. I used to have those tempur pillows and I was never really that content because it made my neck ache even more. And I had those pillows for quite some time and that was just it's not happening again. And I'm very glad and I'm very happy with my Nitori ones. I got crazy with oh this one I bought. Well, it's my ticket to Canada, and oh, I really had a bit of a have Muji skirts, and we start with our shopping purchases here. So for March, I was able to get this Kaweco, the Olivine Kaweco, and this was the first main stationery purchase of the year. And I saw this last year, 2024, and I just waited for Scribe to bring it to the local market, and here it is. I believe this was made available during the Manila Pen Show that I wasn't able to attend, so I had to get this online. But for you to have an idea how much I like this, it comes in a gold nib. And of course, I had this custom ground to an extra, extra fine because that's the only way I can be, that's the only way I'll be able to use this on a regular basis. Let's be real. So that was the first purchase. Next, I have here is the Traveler's Notebook and Moomin edition. I really wasn't intending of buying any more Traveler's Notebooks, but when I saw this was available, I immediately ordered this, and this is the standard size, and it came in olive, and yeah, it's just like Moomin foiled to it. I thought, well, I think this is going to be in another video, but yeah, this is what I got. Next up are inks. I am not going to show you bottles of inks anymore, but instead, what I did was that since this is a 2025 planner journal, I decided that the months in 2026 I could use for other reasons, and that's how I came up with this. So these are the inks that I purchased in 2025 for the first 6 months. These two inks came in yesterday, and I'm gonna zoom in a bit so you can see it. Obviously, they're all green now, and I wanted to stay that way because these are the inks that I continually use or just rotate from time to time. And you're gonna see that I have another Mad Hatter here. I know that I've had this for quite some time, but also I liked it that much that I had to buy another bottle of it just in case. And so these inks, these four inks are from Lennon Toolbar. Yes, they feel rather dry on pens. So I don't really know yet what I'm going to do, considering I already have extra, extra fine pens. So the nib flow isn't really going to be that um, generous. And it does kind of feel scratchy. Now, this is from Bungubox. This is from Oyster Ostrich Inks. Ostrich Inks. These are from Diamine. This is from Wearingeul Diamine as well. Now these two inks, I got these yesterday, and I can share a swatch actually. Hang on. So since I got them yesterday, these are the swatches. I will go closer. I like these green. Although Salamander looks a lot more grayish, black brown here, but believe me, the video doesn't give it justice. I'll try to find an angle or like way to make you see the green, but it's really a gorgeous green. It's that dark, earthy green that I like. Hang on. If I make you dizzy, I'm so sorry. But I hope you can see what I'm talking about. So those are the inks that I got. Now back to our spending. I am no longer going to show you the washi tips or stickers that I got because they're now just in a collective pouch that I cut because they usually come in sample rolls like this. And the thing is that if I have this, it's kind of hard to bring along. So what I did was that I cut those samples already and just make them fit into this pouch. And these are what I have now. So they're all just cut into like strips like this, and it makes it easy to bring along and just stuff it in my bag with everything that I need. So it's not a bad thing. Now the next is so I was able to buy the white Pilot Decimo, but I ended up selling it around June, start of June, because that was the time I saw this. And I ordered this. This is the Pilot Decimo in the Nagasawa edition. It is the Harbour Mint. I'm gonna just write the entire description below because it's kind of long. But I got this, and I felt like it was meant to be because it has the rhodium trim, which is like a silver trim, and the nib itself is already an extra fine. And it's not like I have to have any extra nib work done on it. And it was the ideal pen that I wanted. Now, I don't regret exactly buying the Decimo and selling the white Decimo that I had because I was able to compare it to this one. This is the Pilot Vanishing Point. Both are in extra fine, by the way. This is the Pilot Vanishing Point, and this is the Decimo. And in terms of size, the Vanishing Point is rather more hefty than the Decimo. And but the writing experience is fairly similar, although I was really disappointed. Well, disappointed might be a strong word, but if you've seen, hang on, I have a writing sample of the fine decimal and I have a writing sample of the extra fine. You're gonna see like it's a very, very significant. There you go. So you're gonna see that the decimal was really juicy and thick, while the vanishing point was the vanishing point's extra fine, and this is the current decimal that I have. You're gonna see just how different it is from the fine, and it's just really a big like difference in nib grade. I didn't expect it to be like this because when I wanted the fine, I thought it was just gonna be slightly juicier, but I can't write with you can see how big this is, and it's gonna take me a lot longer to be writing, and so it just did not work out for me. Hence, I was really decided on getting just an extra fine for the Decimo and the Vanishing Point. And honestly, for me, this is the best writing nib I've ever had, and no extra work done. This is perfect for me. And lastly, although it wasn't anymore in order, lastly, this is what I got. This is the blue Have a Nice Trip Traveler's Notebook in the standard size. I got this pre-loved and I like it. Although I'm not really exactly collecting blue anymore, but this was one of the releases that I wanted and missed out on. So I am glad that I was able to find this. And I have like an idea of what I want to use for this because since it's Have a Nice Trip edition, I had in mind that I would be keeping a travel journal here. Now, since I haven't really started anything yet, I was able to write these down at the back. I'm going to zoom it in. So, at least for the past maybe 10 years, I wrote down all the travels, or international travels at least. But the thing is, when I changed my name in my passport, I actually don't know where my old passport is. And that's where my US visa is, the expired one. So I can't renew it. And I'm having a difficult time finding it because you need an affidavit of loss for the old passport. The thing is, I don't have a copy of the old passport. So, long story short, I learned my lesson that I would have at least these important numbers and on my person, on me. So I just have this. And since COVID hit really badly, obviously I haven't been traveling, and I only started really traveling again last 2023. So that was like a major hiatus from 2019 to 2023. And I was able to change my passport last 2024, which I finally got it back to my name. And that's why I was able to go back to Canada. And I'm looking forward to going back later this year. And so I just have this here. And ideally, I want to have all my travels here. Maybe I am going to, I don't know, journal or like backfill this when the trip with the Japan trip I had last January. And yeah, so I have here my boarding pass to Tokyo and this, and I believe my other insert had my Canada one. So this one is my Calgary. Sorry, this is my Vancouver to Calgary. And yeah, so this is what I've kept. And I really want to start with having an insert for travels. So that is that. And in terms of this whole experience of tracking things down, writing things down, I find it really useful, to be honest. And again, it's really not about me saying no to shopping because, come on, it's never really going to happen. But at least this time, it's well documented and I know where my money goes. So let me know if you have other ways of saving money or things like that. And oh yeah, on a side note, but although I wasn't able to write others down, on a side note, I started purchasing foreign currency for my trip to Canada. And I find that that's another way of me saving because I'm going to be billed in USD regardless of wherever I go. And that's how I save because if I don't see that I have like extra funds in my account, I feel like I can't shop. So since it's in another currency, I can't spend it here. And that is my way of saving because I know I'll be leaving in October anyway. So I think that's that. Let me know if you have any other bright ideas on how to save money, how you spend, how you track it. And if this seemed interesting, I hope this helped because, yeah, sure, I'm a finance person, but also, and I guess it's all about just finding a balance of rewarding yourself and keeping yourself sane because I don't think we're just here to keep working and working, but I also want to just enjoy. This is going to sound like really sappy and, like a drama fest, but I miss my family in Canada. That was a bit sad. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and let me know your other bright ideas and I'll see you in the next video, which is ideally the actual mid-year Techokaigi. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!